Hey guys, I Saw a Bear here, and today I'll be going over the update 0.034 for the game Foxhole. Now this update is a little shorter than the other ones. The devs have been hard at work getting ready for the early access launch of Foxhole on Steam. More on that later. The biggest changes this week come to the resource gathering system. It's been reworked into an experimental phase. The gathering has been increased significantly, but expect some of these things to change in the future. So first off, the gathering speed of most resources has increased significantly. For example, scrap is now gathered at 300% of its previous rate. The amount of resources per node has also been increased, so scrap nodes now have 100 scrap inside of them instead of the previous 14. Respawn time of nodes is now longer to compensate for this. So for example, again, the scrap nodes will respawn after 200 seconds instead of the previous 14 seconds. The chance to yield tech parts has increased by 200% to account for the changes in gather speed. And starter towns have now been equipped with 2,000 basic materials in their stockpile at the start of the round. This will give everyone a little bit of defensive startup cash. Some game balances include all passive defensive structures have an increased ramp-up time before they fire on enemies. This means that instead of walking into a Foxhole's line of sight and instantly being fired upon, it will now take a second or two for the Foxhole to acquire its target. Same thing for pillboxes and gun nests and the rest. Speaking of less annoying, gun nest frag grenade throw distance has been decreased by 30%. It's still pretty far, but there is a noticeable difference, that's for sure. And how about this one? Gun turrets will no longer target enemy infantry. That's right, gun turrets will now only target vehicles. The gun turrets will also fire at targets beyond its normal range if the gun turret is fired upon first. I wasn't able to recreate this in the side seat of vehicles, but the devs do mention an example of this would be from the upcoming light tanks. And lastly, the frag grenade basic material cost has been increased by 25%. Some final changes include stockpile items have been reorganized so similar items are grouped together. So you'll find the pistol next to the pistol ammo, the rifle next to the rifle ammo. You get the idea. It's just a lot neater in the menu. The fuel meter indicator for the HUD in vehicles now represents the total fuel remaining in your vehicle instead of each individual canister. This will save a lot of trouble for people who drive vehicles constantly. You won't have to get out and check how many cans you have left. You'll just see everything you have in the gas tank at once without having to get out of the vehicle. Additionally, the cameras can now also be rotated using the period or comma keys while driving a vehicle. All vehicles can now be squad claimed and have their inventories locked. An associated bug fix is that squad members can now unlock squad claimed trucks, which is a real problem in the past. And lastly, and this one I like a lot, some basic player profiles have been added into the game. The devs note that this is a bare-bone feature, mostly for testing at the moment, but you can edit profiles from the main menu now. You can give yourself a name, give yourself an outfit or a squad, and even write a little bit of a description at the bottom. You can do this for both Warden and Colonial characters. And if all of you who are watching right now have had the chance to play the pre-alpha, you will receive a special medal on your profile indicating that you did participate in the pre-alpha stage of Foxhole. There were some other bug fixes, but I'll leave that for the patch notes down below. There are a couple of things I need to mention. Coming July 27th, Foxhole will be launching into early access, and I seriously encourage all of you who enjoy playing the game to go and buy it on day one. Long story short, if a lot of people buy the game on day one, Foxhole has a better chance of appearing on the front page of Steam, which only gives us more visibility to players who might be interested. And secondly, I was once again invited onto the panel of guests for the Foxhole Community Media stream this week. I'll leave a link down in the description, but we were given the honor by the devs to reveal a new feature coming to early access that no one had ever seen before up until that point. So if you want to find out what it is, go check out that stream. Well, that does it for this update. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe, and stay up to date on all the latest Foxhole updates. And as always, Good luck, keep your heads down, stay in your foxholes. Bear out.